Okay, I'm about to make Jollof Rice. It's a Nigerian dish. So the first thing I did was I added three. I diced and I diced up. I added diced. I cut up some. I cut up three Roma tomatoes, two red bell peppers, one large red onion, one habanero pepper, and I added them to my food processor. So now I'm going to add 1.5 cups of vegetable broth. Yep. I'm going to add 1.5 cups of vegetable broth. Then I'm just going to puree. I'm going to puree all this until it's smooth. All right. That smells amazing. That's my puree. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my puree to my saucepan. Add my puree to my saucepan. And I'm going to bring this to a boil over medium heat. I'm going to cover it and bring it to a boil over medium heat. Okay, so while the paste is while I'm boiling my paste, what I did was I added 1/3 cup of vegetable oil to my saucepan, and I'm going to add half of a red onion, half of a red onion or a white onion to my grease. Then I'm going to add 3 bay leaves. 3 bay leaves to my oil. Then I'm going to add half of a teaspoon of ground pepper, black pepper. Half of a teaspoon of salt. Two teaspoons of dried thyme leaves. And 2 teaspoons of curry powder. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to saute all this. I'm just going to saute all this for about 5 minutes. Okay, so while I'm cooking this, once I've boiled this for about half an hour, I can shut this off after boiling it for half an hour. Okay, so once I've cooked this for about 3 minutes, and the onions have softened, I'm gonna add I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of butter and 1/4 of a cup of tomato puree. 1/4 of a cup of tomato puree. Or tomato paste, I'm sorry. 1/4. This is tomato paste. See how thick that is? That's tomato paste. And I'm just gonna cook it. I'm gonna after I add the tomato paste and 2 teaspoons of butter, I'm gonna cook it for 10 minutes until the tomato paste is incorporated. And I'm gonna stir it continuously for that 10 minutes so the tomato paste can incorporate into it. Okay, now when it's ready, you'll see that the tomato paste has dissolved into the oil. You'll see that it's dissolved after about 10 minutes of cooking it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this back on. I cooked this for a half an hour and then shut it off. So I'm going to turn it back on. And then I'm going to add my tomato paste mixture to it. I'm going to add my tomato paste mixture to it. I'm going to incorporate it in. Then I'm going to add 3 cups of extra long grain rice that I've rinsed. Yeah, I've rinsed this rice thoroughly. So I'm just going to add it. Add my rice to it. I'm going to mix my rice in until my rice is fully coated. In red. Fully coated. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it on low heat. I want to put it on low heat. I'm gonna put it to the lowest heat setting possible. I'm gonna turn it down to the lowest heat setting possible. Then I'm gonna cover this with aluminum foil. And I'm going to crimp the sides down like this, and I'm going to let this cook on low heat for 20 minutes. Now, if the rice gets a little dry, all you have to do is just add a little bit more chicken broth to it. Or vegetable broth. Just add a little bit more liquid to it. If it gets dry. Yeah, so it can cook. Okay, and this is the finished product of your jollof. I had to use the rest of my vegetable broth. You know, and then it was still a little bit dry, and I ended up having to add half a cup of water. You know, but that was eventually enough, and this is the finished product of your jollof rice, and that's what you want.